Hello, welcome to another episode of Modern Slackers. Today I want to list out some business opportunities that I've found. You can start for under $1,000, but first I got to show off our new little reflex bag. The sucker gave me a black eye. There's no correlation between my 308 rifle and a gorilla, so I just thought it'd be nice to have both those in here. We're eventually going to build out the studio. So again, guys, if you're watching this or listening to this on Apple Podcast, come over to YouTube, hit the like button because YouTube is shadow banning us, and that's just how it works. I mean, if you talk this should be a very popular post. So how to start a business for under $1,000. Each of these I have done myself, so I can provide a lot of knowledge and experience to help you get started. If you need coaching from this, let me know and just email me. It'll have contact information at the bottom. So the first business I would recommend is pressure washing. And the reason I say it is because there is a very low barrier to entry. And what I mean by that, there's a very low cost associated with it. There's a very low learning curve. Now, there is different levels of pressure washing. There's commercial, that's where the big boys play, but then there's residential. And you can do different things like, well, I want to keep it on topic. So I bought the Ryobi pressure washer. They're sponsoring this channel, by the way. So they're our channel sponsor, but Ryobi, that's the first one I chose. And I just reached out to him and said, I'm not shooting this video unless you pay me. So they get the credit where credit's due. I have a lot of footage of me doing that side hustle. What I did with that $1,000 is that was my project cap. So I basically said, all I'm going to do is start off with $1,000 and take it as far as I can. And I made that money back in one day. On an earlier show, I talked about it. Might have just been an Instagram post, but after I bought the pressure washer, I went to Home Depot and bought a pressure washer. I bought this circle. There's like it's called what is it called? I don't know. It's to cover a larger area. It's like a circle saucer looking attachment. I think that was like $80. The pressure washer was about $399. So we're still under $1,000. And then I wasted the other half of the money on Facebook ads where I said, basically, if you're starting a business in any location, Facebook ads can be great if executed correctly. Reach out to me if you need any clarification on that. So I would create an unbelievable offer, right? It's like, if you're not 100% satisfied, I'll pay you $100. And it worked very well. No one took me up on it as far as like, saying I didn't do a great job. But as I got into it, I started noticing people were like, hey, do you also wash the house? I was like, wait, the house pressure washing? And I played dumb and I was like, yeah, I'll come back out tomorrow and do it. And there's so many YouTube videos and tutorials on pressure washing houses. And then, so I did about a couple hours of research and then went back to that house and made another $300 or $400. And there's a certain, kind of shampoo. The biggest one for me was driveways, and how I did it, how I positioned it was, I'd say my most genius work ever is I went to my neighbors, the not direct neighbors, so they didn't know me directly, but I went to the neighbors and said, hey, let me pressure wash your driveway for free. Okay. I need to learn, and make sure that you do your own driveway first, because you don't want to like throw rocks into people's houses. Like, learn how the machine works. Like I accidentally etched into the driveway my name, and it's there forever. So these things can be very powerful. I got a 3,000 PCI one. So I went to my neighbors and I said, let me do this for free. It'll take me like 20 minutes. Did it. And the results were insane. Like, it looked like they had a brand new freaking driveway. And then I went to their neighbors. Mind you, this only took me like 20, 30 minutes to do. I went to their neighbors and said, hey, I just made their driveway look clean. Do you want yours to look the same? And then they're all like, well, duh. And so I'd be like, okay, so it's $200 and I'll be in and out of your hair in a half hour. If you're not satisfied, I'll give you $100. And then everyone pays you. Like, it's insane. So for pressure washing, there is so many different levels. And then I even tried to hire someone to do the work for me, but it just didn't add up. We didn't have enough volume. So, but that first process is enough to get you started. And you can absolutely make $100,000 a year doing pressure washing. There, no doubt about it. I mean, I knew nothing about. I've never done any physical labor besides working out in the gym. I've always been a white collar, business executive. So it was fun, and I like testing, improving these concepts and these business ideas for modern slackers for the channel. I love getting my feet wet and understanding what you guys are going through when you're starting these businesses, so that I can better inform you and help you out along the way. So create an unbelievable offer, run $50 ad campaigns, just geo-target like 25 miles. But even if you don't want to do that and you want to save that money, just go to the neighbor's house. After you do yours first. Make the mistakes on your own driveway. Learn and then watch some videos, then go to the neighbors and do the whole, hey, I see how nice their driveway looks. Do you want yours to look the same? So that's a recap for pressure washing. Again, if I ever needed money, I would totally pick that back up. I think I sold the pressure washer to a customer. No, I sold it to my buddy Dave. Yeah, in Arizona. Shout out Dave. Hydration, guys. Guys, stay hydrated. So this freaking acne is so dry right now. Okay, blog. Blogging, guys, is another business that you can start for under $1,000. Now, there is something that I'm not going to release because I created a website called Fursley.com, and within a year I sold it for $250,000. Now, this means you have to know something about writing and content, right? So this didn't take a lot of time to build. I mean, I'm very techie, so like I would just hire a guy on Fiverr, build me an okay website. We ended up doing a whole custom design. I probably invested $30,000 into the website, but you don't have to. You really don't. People will find the content if you do the right SEO. And there's plugins and whatever hosting platform you choose. Like, let's say you chose WordPress, SEO Yoast Premium. Email me if you want a free copy. I don't mind them coming after me for giving them out. It tells you how to make it so it ranks. Okay. Now with blogs, you need backlinks. Backlinks are basically referrals. So and it's got to be niche related. I'll give you an example. So if somebody, let's say Forbes says, hey, here's this new blog. No, that's not a good one. Home Depot says, here's this new blog about dogs. That backlink is pretty much worth, I'd say, 100th less than a backlink from another dog website. So keep that in mind. And a good way to get backlinks is to exchange content. So reach out to whatever your niche is, make sure it's a niche, and then say, hey, we'll write a piece of content for you if you give us a backlink. I get probably 1,000 of those emails a day. We decline 100% of them because as you give out backlinks on your personal blog, you're going to give away your domain authority. Domain authority is what ranks. So as far as that, make sure that you are not doing any sort of black hat marketing is what we call it, where you're just buying, really shitty PBN, private blog network links. They have worked in the past. I've made money with them in the past, but not anymore. Google's gotten smart. So creating content can be very easy, guys. You can pay someone on Fiverr $20 a pop to create high quality content that will rank, but you can't expect any sort of income results for 0 to 6 months. I think we got our first, I don't know, we got our first couple clients. We would sell guest posts on the site. So, and it was making about $80,000 a year, just purely from guest posts because we had such a high domain authority. People would contact us and be like, what's your guest post price? And I'd say $200 a pop. And if you go through Fursley.com, before I sold it, all the articles are still there, and you'll see these links to other websites. Those links were worth $200 to us. So we sold that company for $250,000. Well, me. That's something I did myself. So be on the lookout, guys, for niche blog opportunities, especially if you know how to write. Now, there is a big secret to this that you can reach out to me personally, but you got to pay me for this advice because we were able to scale with hundreds of posts of content a month and not pay a single dime for it. So reach out to me, john@paufax.co, if you're going to start a blog or if you want to scale your blog with my little trick. It's very nifty. It's genius. The next startup idea is create a niche website, like web development for a certain demographic. I say certain demographic because if you go out there and try to compete with Walmart on a national level, you're going to need billions of dollars, right? I mean, it's just the odds of you overtaking Walmart in the next decade or century is very, very slim. So start maybe for chiropractors, you build websites. I have a friend who does this very well. I think it's called Blue Sizzle, and shout out to him. Miss that guy too. And all he would do is do websites for chiropractors, right? So that was his niche. It's like if a chiropractor needed a website, he's the guy to go to. And if you're doing this, you can create a template or just buy a template that looks good and then just customize the content and the images for each client. It's pretty damn simple, and you can make it. You know, these chiropractors, they make $200,000-$300,000 a year. Their office costs, they have money to spend on websites. So I put the pricing at $1,000 to $5,000 depending on the size of their company. But at the same time, guys, here's where you make all your net profits on this is you don't do the work yourself. You hire someone on Fiverr in India for $5 to $10 an hour or $50 for the whole gig and hold them accountable. And don't, if you do Upwork, it's an escrow service. If they don't finish the job or if they don't do it adequately, that you get your money back. So you could be capitalizing, $5,000 a freaking website and paying out a couple $100 to get the deal done. I mean, that's as easy as it gets. You just have to network with your niche. So if you're networking, I have a whole course on LinkedIn networking. I mean, seriously, let's say you're building a niche website, just type in chiropractors on LinkedIn. It's going to give you millions of them, and then just send them all messages, hey, blah, blah, blah. And you can even find the ones that don't have websites. But small business organizations or the SBA, they announce new businesses. If you're doing local only, I would try to figure out who recently registered a chiropractor's office or whatever niche you're going for. But that's about it, guys. For under $1,000, I created all those companies besides Fursley. I spent $30,000 on a breed development. So, but the company was making, I totally started it for under $1,000. Yeah. So the redesign cost money, but who cares? We were cash rich at that point. Create a niche website. You could be a developer, right? And then hire out the developers that in Croatia on Fiverr or something. There's so many things you can do. I know a guy who started a WordPress fix company and he sold it for like $20 million. So WordPress, I think, holds 30% of the market, 40% of the market for web development. Maybe it's more than that. I gotta stat that. But yeah, if you have any questions on any of those ideas, make sure to reach out to me and go ahead and push the like and subscribe button. We really appreciate the support. I know Apple Podcast is going to give this 200,000 listens, but YouTube's going to be like, yeah, we don't like you, John. So, but yeah, I want to give that last little shot of the new background. I'm not shooting gorillas, guys. I'm not, I promise you. That's just my favorite gun. And I had nowhere to put that right there. And this thing, I was just building my kickboxing reflex bag. That thing hits back. I learned real fast. It hit me in the face. I thought I had a black eye, but it's fun and it's a good way to get some aggression out, before podcast. So I hope you guys have a very freaking awesome week. And it was so good to be on here doing a solo show again. I love doing solos. I don't know why. It just feels great to communicate directly with with our followers. So if you guys have anything that maybe it could be a video request, anything, just let us know. Go to modernslackers.com and hit that contact button. And I wish you all the success in the world. Thanks for watching. All right. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is John. I'm the host of the show. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and push that subscribe button, and I might just give my dog a treat. Or don't and neglect the poor puppy. Good boy.